Hi all, welcome to the speaker interview series of ATGTR 2022. And today I have Sahay and Sakthikannan from CTS joining us. I am Ravi Surya, the host for this speaker interview series, joining from Bengaluru. And Ash is joining us from Jharkhand, and our Sakthikannan is joining from London. So we all have somewhat the same kind of climate, like chill and rain. Yeah, nice. So today we'll talk about the paper they have submitted for the lightning talk, and it's on the visual testing for a UI. And I would like to know more on that topic from our speakers itself. So to start, I will ask, Ash, to start to give a brief intro on himself, and then Shakti. Yes, Ash.
Yeah, thank you, Surya. So hi everyone. My name is Harsh, and I am from Jharkhand, and I'm working. My work location is Bangalore, but due to COVID, some of us got lucky and we are working from home. So I have in this competition, I took part on behalf of Cognizant. Me and Shakti along with, we came up with a solution and a topic, which is visual regression testing on the AM side and also the front end side. So AM is like a Adobe Experience Manager, which I think most of us are using within our companies, which is also a content management tool. And while working on that, as a QA, right, we have seen many times like most of the defects come around the layouting of the page. So if I talk about technically, right, we have a automation pack to validate the functionality. We have automation pack to validate the integration testing and lot of stuffs, but there was no automation, or I would say manual. It was all manual effort to check whether the page we are editing, right, how is the layouting happening. Within that, we have many components in AM, right? Let's say we have a product pods, we have image, we have videos. How is the layouting coming up? It might happen, right? The functionality is working. When I say the functionality, the video is playing, but what space will the video take in AM? It might break, right? And we never get to know about that usually. And there was a lot of manual efforts whenever we had to do the like SP upgradation, service pack upgradation, or when we have a regression testing while going for releases. It was like very, I would say, complicated thing to do. And Shakti, like he will explain you more on the front end part, but yeah, whenever we used to go with a front end release, there was something we had to do regression in the front end part as well, which was mostly manually. But yeah, with Shakti's skill and my effort, we both came up with something, and this is what we have done. So yeah, Surya, like if that has answered your question, like high level, what is it about and what we have done. And Shakti, if you want to add something, like you can go ahead.
I have a question to Shakti. From here. So Shakti, what will the audience take from this lightning talk? So can you brief on that, so that the audience will know, like they can be prepared with the mindset as well coming in, and to ask the questions for you and Harsh in the conference.
So Surya, thank you Harsh for the introduction. And hi, this is Sakthikannan Subramanian, and I'm working for Cognizant for last 13 years, and I'm a test manager here, and I'm playing a role of software development test engineer. And I'm from London, and yeah, as Harsh mentioned, like we worked on this topic like visual testing for Adobe experience and as well as for the websites. So coming back to the question from Surya, so what does the audience take it from here? So there might be different projects which is kind of like working on websites where our customers are looking into it, and then now the RWD is like like a hot cake. Like every website needs to be kind of like to be in RWD, where they can be used, where they can use it in mobile, they can use it in iPads or any tablets and stuffs like that. So in that case, and the development strategy is also kind of like changing. Like it is not like a monolithic application where the monolithic projects will develop their code and visuals and stuffs like that in a single repository. Now it is kind of like broken into micro front ends and then design components and stuffs like that. So now what's happening is like every page which is getting developed is kind of like combination of all those components. You will get injected few components from AEM and stuffs like that, few components from other vendors and stuffs like that. So when a finished product goes to our customer, we need to make sure that the layout, and we need to make sure the pages are looking as per our designs that we have already designed. So how are we going to kind of like make sure everything is good? So let's take a simple retail application or website. It will be having like 150 or 160 odd pages to show all those products and stuffs like that. So how are we going to validate those visuals that we already designed is as per the visual that is we are going to show to our customer? It's kind of like a nightmare to validate every release. You going there and then validating 160 odd pages in different breakpoints. When I say different breakpoints, you have to validate this 150 odd pages in your website, that in browser, in the desktop browser, and you have to validate that in the tablets and as well as in the mobiles in different breakpoints. So do we sustain as per the design or not? We need to validate, which is kind of like a cumbersome task. So that's why we wanted to come with a solution called automated visual testing, using some market available tools, which can be implemented to any project which will be benefiting them. If you take an example, in my project, it will be kind of like I will be releasing 2 or 3 releases per day, because we are completely improved in CI/CD model. For 2 or 3 releases, if I keep on do manual testing on this visual, I don't think that I will be able to make it one release at least in a month. So this is kind of like a good place to start the visual testing anywhere.
Right. So to give brief, okay, today, like last night, I was referring to some question on the community. Okay, one question was like that I read was that tester wanted to test, okay, the deployment, okay, on stage and test and on the stage and as well as on the test environment. What he wanted to do? What he wanted to do was he wanted to compare this two UI by opening side by side and evaluate the differences. And he did say that there are like lot many pages to evaluate, and was asking like how to approach that. Yeah, for me, so one thing that came to my immediately was that this visual UI testing. Yeah, that's one. And and also I got I thought if it's like the same code base and all the dependencies are similar, are the same, there should not be the differences in UI, at least in these two
environments.
Yes, yeah. But for me, yes. But today I see that visual testing, UI testing in the automated way, it's a need today. Yeah, because yeah. So with that, we'll move to the next question to Ash. So Ash, so what are the values and benefits that you see in this visual UI testing?
Yeah, thank you, Surya and Shakti. So the benefits, right? If I talk about benefits, so the first thing I would like to say is when you, I'm more focusing on the AM part because that's something which I'm working on regular basis, and the front end part is something which Shakti is. But yeah, I will tell you on the overall benefit. So the first benefit I would say is like, in AM, right, we have not 1 or 2 pages. We have like many thousands of pages in the prod environment, which authors come and they edit it and create pages, publish it, and it goes to front end. So if we automate that, right, so if we automate one page, for one page, as Shakti said, we have different breakpoints, right? Mobile breakpoint, medium breakpoint, which is tablet, and large breakpoint, which is desktop. So that Percy can take screenshots of that particular page. So basically it saved 10 or 15 minutes, I would say, for one single page. And if you have applied that automation, right, to let's say 10 pages on the straight go, I would say not less than an hour you have saved for your company. And if you're saving time for an IT world, it means you're saving money. And we ultimately want to save time, right? So that's why when we automated it, we used to take like hours and hours to do the regression, and the SP upgradation happens every quarter, or I would say twice a quarter. So we don't have to rely on the manual effort. So it has saved time, efforts, and ultimately money. And if I talk about the benefits, right, we don't have to like go to all the pages in the front end manually. I know I'm repeating the same thing, manual and automated, but because it's something which we have really automated, and every person, right, there are many tools available in market, like we use it with Percy, but there are many other tools which you can use. So based on your company's policies, you can go for it. So these are the one of the advantage. The second advantage I would say is when you're using CI/CD, right, Jenkins. So when you trigger that pipeline, like when you trigger a pipeline for visual regression, it runs it, right? And you don't have to baseline it every time. So the advantage what we have seen is when we worked with Percy is it will take the screenshot from the last build and it will compare it with the latest build. So the advantage of that is if it has broken something from the last build, it will be highlighted then and there. And the pipeline, right, you can integrate in a way that the pipeline won't proceed. So ultimately, if you're going for a release and let's say you are on leave, you can ask your colleague, okay, could you please trigger this pipeline before going for any release?
Okay.
And if they trigger a pipeline and if they see, okay, the pipeline is not going ahead because there is some visual diff which it has found on the front end or AEM, then they won't disturb you on your holidays, right? They can simply create a defect and they will say, okay, there was a defect we found from this and let's fix this and then go for the release. So you can see, right, you can relate how easy it makes talking about the deployment. And especially when you're working in agile, right, that's something even backend developers, front end POs, QAs, anyone can trigger that. You just have to click on build now and that's it. So these are the few advantages I would say. And on the high level, right, in the real time, you never know how many pages you're going to work with, right? So it has many advantages. So that's the thing.
Okay, yeah. I got the gist of it. Shakti, I have a question for you now on the same line. So, do you see false positives in the report that you get? It feels like you handle the false positives in the visual UI testing.
Yeah. So usually what happens is like, so I have a UX UI designer who designs something for me to be deployed or given to my customer. Then I design as per that, and I will be kind of like developing as per that. Then what happens is like there will be some CRs and there will be some changes that my PO and UI developers come and say that, can you please do this changes so that our customer, let's say a simple example, like there is an accessibility change where a green color needs to be changed to a teal or something like that. So they do those changes and then they deploy it. What happens is like that, it will say that, okay, it got failed. And it say that there is something like, there is something should be like X, but something Y came in, it got failed. But that's not a failure. It is kind of like a change that you have made. Because of that, it got failure. So what happens is like in this situation, we have an option in Percy, because we implemented that in Percy. We have an option in Percy to go and say that, okay, I approve this change and you can start executing it again. So what happens is like those failures will get kind of like, it's kind of like those failures will get corrected and then it will be getting executed and we will be in a right point actually. Yeah.
Okay. So what I understand, Shakti here, though we do the automation using using a library for this visual UI testing, at the end, to evaluate, if it is actually the true positive or the false positive, it needs a human, right? Means to evaluate that report here. So
it's kind of like, yeah, so that's right. I would agree to you, but it's kind of like someone needs to approve that this is what we need and this is what we're expecting, kind of like that, right? So let's say there is a change. let me say something like, for example, I'll say this particular change and it is a failure. Okay, when the pipeline is running and the pipeline breaks there, says that there is a change. Can you please go fix it and then start the pipeline again? So if he fixes, that is because of the change that UI developer needs to kind of like approve. Yes, this is what I'm intended because I'm changing from the initial design. So the approval needs to be there. So it's kind of like you don't want to give much effort there. So it's going to be kind of like a trigger to you. Just say approve. So if you approve it, it will kind of like recognize as, okay, I'm going forward. I don't want to rely on the existing design that I was having. So I need to rely on the current design that I am having right now, which is approved by UI designer, and it will go beyond that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
So if you think about the scenario is not going to be like, it will not repeat kind of like on a day-to-day basis, maybe like in a quarter or in a half yearly, where project team kind of like they come together and then say that let us change some of the UI designs and stuff like that. So that is where you will need to kind of like reapprove it actually.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
It's kind of like an advantage, Surya, because you don't want to go to Percy or to my visual testing, automated visual testing, and say, hey, I have done some changes here. Please keep this in your mind and then do testing. It gives us an opportunity, says that, hey, boss, you forgot to update me. Do you need to update? Kind of like that. If we say yes, please update it, and it takes automatically, and then it kind of proceeds.
Yeah. I myself, I have not tried UI testing or using some libraries. Yeah. But in recent, but in last 1 week, like I started exploring the libraries. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because even I want to reduce the time what I spend on UI.
That's cool.
Yeah, for the small details. Yeah, I'm working on that.
Because now in the market, right? So you have a number of tools, and if you're going via Maven or Gradle, or if your project is completely into Node or something like that, you have a number of libraries and stuff like that, like Resembler.js or Compare.diff or Visual.diff or something like that, where you can use anything that you want and then kind of like compare and do stuff. Actually, yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Yeah, like I made the list and the notes, like what to consider, like and why. Yeah. I'm about to now implement them. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So we were in that situation, like taking all those lists and then considering things too for our visual regression. But then we decided, okay, Percy is the tool for us, kind of like that. So yeah, maybe we reduced some of your effort.
After going through the summary of your talk, I read that Percy there. Yeah. Then I went, okay. So then I made note of Percy. I'll work on that as well. So with that, we're coming to the fun side of this interview series. So like first Shakti, okay, let's do this way. Shakti, okay, this way. It's a rapid round. Okay, I will ask a question, or I will just I will say a word. Let me know what you feel. Okay, on that. Okay, right away immediately. If you want to, if you think that you should skip, you can skip it. Okay, you'll say I'll skip this. Okay, fine. Okay, it's fine. It's just a fun side. Okay, nothing else. So Shakti has. Okay, we'll start.
Yeah.
Okay, Shakti, with you. Scrum.
Agile.
UI testing.
Fun.
Okay. Shakti. It's not a bug.
Change.
It works on my machine.
It works on my machine. Magic.
Okay. Friday, Shakti.
Sorry?
Friday.
Thank God.
Trying it. Okay. Tuesday.
I'm taking leave to my manager.
Okay. Shakti. London.
Company. Project. Work.
Too much money, yeah.
Okay. Bangalore. Bengaluru.
Oh yeah, that water harvesting on road. Yeah.
That's something. Okay, your part of Bangalore. Okay, fine. Jharkhand. Jharkhand.
Again me, right? Yeah, Dhoni.
Yeah.
CSK, Dhoni.
CSK,
Yeah.
Dhoni. Shakti. CSK. Chennai
Again,
Super
Dhoni.
Kings.
Me.
Dhoni.
My team.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. I did have a good gist of what would I see from your lightning talk, and if any questions that I need to ask now, I know how to prepare and come to your talk. And audience, do look at the page of the lightning talk of Shakti and Ash, and I see the visual UI testing is a need for today. With that, take a look at the ATA page in this videos in this video page that's in the comment or the description of this video. You will see the link to register for ATA conference and more about this lightning talk of Shakti and Ash. See you soon in the conference, and yeah, I'll be waiting for this lightning talk. Thanks, Shakti. Thanks, Ash. Have a good day.
Thank you, Surya.
Have a good day too.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.